Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ryan here. Gonna be doing a review of this week's SmackDown Live. We know with Tuesday's podcast that we can't cover the new SmackDown of each week, so we've dedicated some of our weekend videos to cover SmackDown, especially if really important things happen, and we want to continue to support coverage for SmackDown. So we may have to shuffle some things around just so we can get these videos out sooner. I know this one's up kind of late as SmackDown took place on Tuesday. Nevertheless, we want to have SmackDown coverage. We care about SmackDown, guys. SmackDown lives matter, right? So this week's show was much better than last week's, in my opinion. It really just kind of hit all the right notes for me. What I wanted to start off talking about was I really love that interview set that Renee Young interviews people on. That really gives it more of a sportsy feel that I actually really appreciate, and it's different. It's something Raw does not do. They really use that. They're utilizing that pre-show panel booth in a new way, and I really like that. So what I wanted to get into first was the Ziggler versus Ambrose feud. Now, we were all kind of shocked last week that Dolph Ziggler won, and now it's going to be Ziggler versus Ambrose for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Nobody really saw this coming, and this promo was that they opened the show with was just an absolutely awesome way to establish this feud. I thought it was very excellent. I thought both guys were just on point. It felt very shoot-like, and when there is just that level of honesty to a promo, I think that goes a long way. I mean, like, Ambrose was not holding back, just digging into Ziggler, talking about how he just doesn't think he's as good as he thinks he is, and that he always is way too concerned about what other people think. And, a lot of times, Ziggler, he can come off like that, like he's complaining too much, and that he never thinks he's getting opportunities and things like that. And Ziggler is an amazing talent, and I thought he did a great job of just, selling, he's scratched and clawed more than anybody else. Even talking about the Spirit Squad starting out as a male cheerleader. And I liked how Ziggler came into this promo very calm and cool. And by the end, he was fired up, and I think it ended on a great note. And just awesome for selling this feud. And now they're doing a very good job of a babyface versus babyface feud, where they're talking down to each other, but they're being fair, and they're not being underhanded or anything like that. And they're just being honest with each other, and it's making for some excellent television. So I'm pretty excited to see where this feud goes. Even though I wasn't too amped up for it before, this is what a good promo can do. It can really sell you on a feud that maybe you weren't too sure about before. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is another promo. We have AJ Styles versus John Cena. I'm pretty sure we all thought that this was going to be the match for SummerSlam. It wasn't really a huge surprise. It's now official, and John Cena, even though this might seem like the typical, this is why I'm here type of thing, I did really appreciate this promo. I mean, AJ just kind of comes out, he's got all, talking about Cena just having everything going for him. Why are you still here? And Cena comes back with, out of love. And I love how he said, love is a word that we don't like to use too much in WWE because it doesn't make you look tough. But as always, these promos do come off as very honest, and people try and talk about John Cena. He's just going to be just like The Rock, where he'll hit mainstream popularity and then he'll leave. But the difference that Cena is pointing out here is, everyone asks me when I'm on all these shows, when am I going to leave the WWE? And he says never, and that the WWE is his home. And I actually believe that even when Cena will be done wrestling, that he's going to stay involved with the WWE for as long as they'll have him. And I don't see WWE wanting to get rid of Cena in any capacity. So I mean, great promo here. AJ to me is just improving all the time on the mic. Like, he really it has been great ever since he turned heel. He has been awesome, and I mean that's a weakness that a lot of people said he had, and I think over the years he's really developed his mic skills between every promotion he's been in: TNA, New Japan, and WWE. And obviously, I guess doing a promo as a heel maybe it's a bit easier to come up with material and things like that. But nevertheless, I mean, I think AJ has just been killing it on the mic, and I did really enjoy this promo as well. So it's time to talk about the women's division. Now, this was very interesting that there were two women's matches that were supposed to happen on this show that did not actually happen. It's just kind of weird that we had Becky Lynch was supposed to face Eva Marie, and Eva Marie feigned an injury, and the match never happened. So yeah, Eva Marie is not actually injured. It's interesting what they're doing with her. They're protecting Eva Marie so that she can get her grandiose entrance and get everyone familiar with her, but they're keeping her out of matches. I feel like they're afraid right now. They don't want her to lose steam by just being awful in the ring. And I mean, she's definitely improved from many years ago, but I mean, there's definitely still some maybe some weaknesses there in her wrestling style, to say the least. So I mean, this is almost like a Fandango thing. If you remember back when before Fandango debuted, he kept having like teasing like he was going to have a match, and then it never happened until WrestleMania. So maybe they're just going to do this same thing where by the time she's going to just keep getting heat until she finally wrestles. And maybe that'll give her some time to get some more training in, who knows. The other match that never happened was Carmella was coming out doing her entrance, and Natalya just runs out and attacks her from behind, and the match never takes place. Carmella, I like her. I'm not crazy about the intro thing, and it's weird how it's kind of going on the other side without Enzo and Cass, and they're not really acknowledging too much about the whole Enzo and Cass thing, but that's fine because they're separate brands. I don't know. I want to like her. I'm just not crazy about the intro thing that she does. It doesn't have that same effect. It's kind of a little cringy, but I want to see her do well. And one thing just to note on the women's championship is it's definitely going to be a separate title from what we're hearing with news and things like that. I think they're just trying to establish, as I mentioned on the podcast, they're trying to establish one belt at a time. Let's have a universal champion before we start talking about a new women's champion and a new SmackDown tag champion. So we don't think from the way things are looking that the tag titles or women's title on Raw will be floating to SmackDown. It looks like SmackDown will have its own set of championships. American Alpha, they made their debut against the Vaudevillains, and I thought American Alpha looked absolutely great. I think they've done a pretty good job of building these up as a real deal tag team, and they're just one of the most fun tag teams to watch. The one thing is that even though you want them to have a nice big first win, now that the brand split is here, I think you need to look out and kind of protect your other tag teams, because you're probably going to need the Vaudevillains down the road. I mean, the American Alpha can't just feud with the Usos, right? So we need to make sure that we're keeping other tag teams looking strong. So I think the one thing, if I was to nitpick, and if I was in control of SmackDown or whatever you want to say, that I would give them a jobber tag team, because I think you can still show off the same amount of skills. Everyone knows they're going to win, yes, but we really just want to see their moveset. We want to see what they're all about, and that's what's great about a jobber match, is you can show off all the moves, and it doesn't have to come at the expense of anyone. You really need to protect guys on a brand split when the rosters are so much smaller. SmackDown especially has that small roster. Raw's, is about a third bigger. So they maybe can afford that a little bit more. And they're the ones doing the jobber matches. So figure that one out, right? So that was my only kind of gripe about that. But American Alpha looked fantastic. So some last things I kind of wanted to talk about. They had after that promo of Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt showed up and he attacked Ziggler and demanded a shot for the a number one contendership for SummerSlam. Now, I think everyone got a little nervous here for Ziggler. Ziggler, of course, for no reason at all, accepted this, and they went on to have the main event, Ziggler versus Bray Wyatt. I mean, even Shane and Daniel Bryan were like, are you sure you want to do this? Because this could end pretty badly, but obviously Ziggler wanted to prove himself, and if Ziggler lost, he would have looked like the biggest idiot. But hey, luckily he wins. I mean, they give Ziggler a pretty damn strong win here, and they even kind of protected Bray Wyatt by having the whole exposed turnbuckle thing be what really cost him. Other rumors kind of flying around that Bray Wyatt hurt his ankle, and he could be working through it, but to see another Bray Wyatt injury, that's just very disheartening, just because he keeps getting kind of hung up by these injuries, and you really don't want to see like a Wade Barrett situation where it's like anytime he's just about to get started, he kind of gets cut down. Another thing that happened on this SmackDown was Heath Slater. I mean, Heath Slater, hey, as the free agent, right? He's getting to show up on both Raw and SmackDown a lot lately, so this gig may not be as bad as it seems, although he really just got speared in an office by Rhino, and Rhino is officially now on the SmackDown roster. I'm really hoping to see things play out kind of good for Heath Slater. I think the guy is super underrated. Where I actually really see him falling into, and I mean, take this for what it's worth, whether it's good or bad, is I think he's the new, like, Santino, basically. Now that Santino's been gone for a couple of years, I think they're going to rely on Heath Slater to be that new kind of comedy character. And in a lot of ways, he was that with the Social Outcast, but maybe now as, like, a standalone superstar. But hey, I mean, Santino won some mid-card championships, so there's a very good path that Heath Slater could go down. And I really think even though he's like the butt of every joke now, it seems, in WWE, that he has such a good mindset about it, and I think WWE will eventually reward him for that. Like, Heath Slater has to get rewarded for all this work that he's done, because I mean, this guy, like, I feel like he's so talented, and I just want to see all of that talent get rewarded. And of course, hey, Brock Lesnar shows up on SmackDown. If you want to show that SmackDown's a big deal and they want to do equal things to Raw, hey, Randy Orton wants to invade Raw, Brock Lesnar will invade SmackDown. Once again, I'm totally cool with the whole brand split thing kind of being glossed over for this one particular feud, because we kind of had this cross-brand feud happen even before it started. It was announced even before the draft. So we'll have this let's invade each other's show thing for a little while, and then it can go away. So I just liked that Lesnar showed up. If Lesnar didn't show up, it was just like, oh, what, he's not good enough to show up on SmackDown? I think this just helps elevate that feud. And we also got Randy Orton versus Fandango. So how about that, huh? How about that for a match? So that is my thoughts on SmackDown. I thought it was a lot better than their first show. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Before I was very concerned about 5 hours of wrestling content in 2 days. But I'm really digging it. And when wrestling is actually fun to watch, like it has been since the brand split, then you really don't mind tuning in for that long. And I just love the feel of a 2-hour show. God, I wish there was a show on Mondays that could maybe go back to that. But yeah, 2 hours just feels nice. After, you're an hour and a half in, you're like, okay, show's been going good, and you're like, oh, there's only a half an hour left. It just feels right, man. It feels right to me. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about SmackDown. don't forget to also hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And if you would like to see any of our other videos, including our recent spotlight on one of the champions of the previous brand split SmackDown, we did a superstar spotlight of Kurt Angle, former TNA and WWE superstar. We talk about part 1 of his WWF/WWE career. Also, if you've not caught this Tuesday's podcast, you can check that out where we give our full thoughts on Raw. So go check that out. And if you would like to support us, the best way to do so is heading over to patreon.com/Byte That. And if you pledge $1 plus for the month of August, that actually enters you into our WWE t-shirt giveaway, where one lucky winner will get any WWE t-shirt, $25 value or below, not including shipping. Any WWE t-shirt from WWE shop that they want, they can win that. So head over to patreon.com/Byte That to support what we do, and we would really appreciate that. So let me know what you guys thought of SmackDown in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.